I got the horse right here. The name is Paul Revere, and here's a guide.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the September 12th races. We do have a 7-race program. It is the eve before, of course, BC Derby Day, BC Oaks. We got a great card on Sunday, but we still have some superstars and some hard-trying horses. You know, they're not as accomplished as the Derby and Oaks runners, but we still have a good 7-race program.
There is some pretty contentious races, obviously, on Saturday, and we do have a pick 6 carryover heading into Saturday. I think we're around 33,000. 33
grand. So it should get up near the 50,000. I would think it would get near the $50,000 mark if you were the one lone ticket in the Sea to Sky pick 6, which you have to be to collect the jackpot. You still win if you get six out of six.
If there's
two of you, you split the consolation pool, but definitely a wager worth looking into that could be near $50,000. Well, we had some great races on the Labor Day program.
We did have 4 CTHS sales stakes.
Well, look at the 2-year-old.
First one we'll look at here is a 2-year-old boys. It went off as the 4th race on Monday. Horses to keep an eye on here, the 3, Fear of the Cat, ridden by Richard Hamill, did go postward as the favorite. Another one to look at would be the 1, We Found Gold, out of the Mike Anderson barn.
Broke a little inward, the 1. You see, We Found Gold kind of just, but Fear of the Cat broke well. Richard has had some tough trips with this gelding.
He finds trouble a lot.
But you're not going to find trouble in the lead, and that was the good part. This horse did go to the front. Had to pay his dues, though. He went pretty quick.
Yeah, he got pressured by Silent Native out of the Phil Hall barn here, and they go in, what'd they go in?
22 and 1.
2 and 1, yeah. So very decent fractions for 2-year-olds, and they end up going in 45 and 4.
Yeah, he had to pay the price to keep the lead and stay out of trouble, but he was much the best in here.
He was the best horse, and Richard did the right thing. Put him on the lead, come and catch me. As you mentioned, a horse who has found a lot of trouble in his previous starts. He wanted to stay out of trouble, and accomplished that by going to the lead. You see, We Found Gold.
Cruising up the inside here, the 1 horse.
Alex Marti, kind of has a decision to make here, and he decides to follow Fear of the Cat. And if he could have got outside, I think he could have made a better run at him. But,
correct. I know. Sometimes it's better to go outside with 2-year-olds. Don't complicate the trip. Yeah. Richard's kind of baiting him on the inside there. But most 2-year-olds won't go through on the inside when it's that tight. And he made it not super tight, but just still, Fear of the Cat had a lot of horse left. Yeah. I know We Found Gold kind of looks like he's coming in, but Richard's kind of relaxed. But congratulations to the Carmichaels and Gregory, and the Gregorys, and of course Richard Hamill. Nice win.
Interesting note, first-time starter Timber King.
Yeah, run on nicely.
Herbie D.
That was cool.
Came running around 3rd. Excuse me.
The next one was 2-year-old fillies.
Next one will be the 2-year-old fillies. 9 of them lined up to go postward as the 5th race last Monday. Horse to keep an eye on here. The 1 Hippie is the favorite. She breaks on top. Miss Finality with Pedro Alvarado board for the Canmore Farms. Mark Cluche lays just off of her. And keep an eye on the 6, Princess Katie. Here we go.
There we go. Yep, the 1 broke well, as you mentioned. 1 and 2 actually did outbreak the field.
Yeah, Hippie was your heavy favorite.
Yeah, Hippie, a little warm in the paddock, but here you can see about 6 of them lined up.
Yeah.
The eventual winner, the 6, Princess Katie, in the yellow blinkers, is 4 deep here into the first turn. I mean, this was her career debut, and she didn't obviously get the best of it going into the first turn. But Hippie and Miss Finality set the pace. Miss Hollywood was 3 deep. And Princess Katie's getting a wide journey, but a comfortable journey. No dirt in the face, and sometimes that's a little more comfortable.
She's running. She's not in tight. She's got free will out there.
Right.
And Hippie, your odds-on favorite, who would have been, a best bet kind of the horse
2 to 5
for me on the day. Miss Finality kind of gets up to her here, and she just kind of folds.
Princess Katie rolls up 3 deep again, and there's a ton here. Like Amadeo Perez has still got pretty tight lines on her, and Hippie's gone. Just not Hippie's day. Miss Finality fights on well to the head of the lane, but Princess Katie was miles the best.
Yeah.
4 and 3 wide in 22 and 1, 45 and 4, and then just drew away. I mean, it was a really impressive performance. A big run from Miss Finality as well, and Cyclone Cindy completed the triactor. But Congratulations, Ernie Chu. He's a cool guy. He's kind of an obscure gentleman. You don't see him all that much. You wouldn't notice him, but he's just a quiet gentleman that has been in the game for a long time. And I know Rob and Vicky Gilker are really excited for Ernie to get a nice stakes victory.
He was all smiles.
And that was awesome. This filly was ready to roll, and congratulations to the connections, especially owner Ernie Chu. Good job. Princess Katie wins the CTHS 2-year-old fillies. Okay, let's get into the Saturday card.
Yes.
This Saturday opener will feature 8. Actually, got some good field size. 8 fillies and mare. $4,000 claimers that are non-winners of 3 lifetime. I ended up on the 3-horse Flair Miss. Pretty easy score at the non-2 level, going long last time. She was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I know she's cutting back to a sprint. I don't think it'll matter.
I just think she's a better filly than this. She dropped out of those higher levels, but she got into 4. She absolutely
She's
crushed.
got an issue, obviously. That's why she's here.
Yeah.
But
she comes back in for 4. They don't get aggressive
Wow.
and go to the 16s or the 8.
No.
Non-2, non-3. Just straight in for 4 again. Looks very tough.
Yeah, I put the 1 Cadeo in for second. I thought a good win last time. She's got some upside. She fought on well after setting a very fast early pace and a contested pace. She probably will be your leader here. I think she's the one that maybe if Flair Miss loses, it might be her that beats her. Only because if she is left alone on the head end, which I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it does happen, she's the one with the best chance. She hasn't been over raced. This is only her 4th start of the year. She's one that has some upside, so I put her in for second, and I put the 6 Moonride, who continues to run good races at the non-3 level, and she'll break through it one day. But I went 3, 1, and 6.
I got the same horse as Flair Miss, as we talked. Takes a big drop down to 4, absolutely crushes, stays in for 4. She's your horse to beat. I put Moonride in the second spot. I thought a very good second behind Lady at War last time. It was a good time of 17 and 4. And she just consistently puts up, 55, 56, 52 buyers. And that is, other than Flair Miss, is much better than the rest of these fillies, especially on a consistent basis. So I have her in the second spot, and Cadeo, your second pick, I have in the third spot. I went 3, 6, and 1 in the opener on Saturday. On to the second, 3-year-olds and up, mile and a 16th, 4,000, non-2. I went to the 1 here, Goliath of the Steve Henson barn. Was very competitive, ran a good second behind Brackendale earlier this year in an $8,000 race. Went in 16 and 3. Then he went into the allowance series and ran a good race there. Only bit 2 3/4. He's kind of tailed off since then while running in tougher races. Now he goes into a $4,000 race. Yeah. He's your dropper. He gets the leading rider. A lot to like about Goliath in here. I put Too Much Johnson in the second spot. Dropped in another one that cut his price in half last time. Ran a good race. Always a Sunrise. Went off by 8 that day. But second best and a horse that should be competitive down here at the $4,000 level. I got him in the second spot. And Instant Cash. Took him a while to break his maiden, but he did, and came back with a decent effort behind Too Much Johnson last time for Lacey Birmingham. I put him in the third spot. I got 1, 6, and 9.
Yeah, I agree with the 1-horse Goliath. It's his race to win or lose. If he wins, he's going to be a short price.
Yeah.
He has been running against far better horses. This is a huge drop in class for Goliath, getting into a restricted non-2 here. This horse is in a perfect spot. I mean, if he loses, don't ever bet him again. If he runs second in this race, I wouldn't follow him back. I'd keep betting against him if he continued,
because
this is the
be
day.
A short price,
this is the day. But I put the 3-horse on the sunny side in the second spot. Was a pace casualty last time.
Yeah,
ran against some pretty good horses. Always a Sunrise came back to win out of that race. He was the one battling with Always a Sunrise. He did, end up tiring badly in the race, but he was out there fighting on the head end. I don't see him having the same chore ahead of him. Yeah. So I think he's got a shot to maybe defeat Goliath if Goliath is not at his best. And I agree with the 6, Too Much Johnson for the reason you said. 1, 3, 6 for me in the Saturday second. On to the third race. Got 2-year-olds here going 3.5 furlongs in a maiden special weight event. We had a couple actually waiting to get in too. We got 9 signed on. I ended up on the 7. Not a big secret in here. It looks like the one on paper, a Fleet Alice, the filly by a Fleet Alex. Great final work at 35 and 1 out of the gate. That does not mean he broke great, because that's the one tricky thing when you're dealing with gate work.
Starts
when you're
like
I clocked for 10 years, and like, just because a horse breaks slow, you still don't start the timer till they leave the gate.
They can walk out of there
and
then get going. Yeah.
So it's a little misleading to see a 35 and 1 out of the gate, but at least it shows the horse did have a gate work. I'm going to try a Fleet Alice for Antonio Reyes and Mark Cluche. I put the 1-horse My Majesty out of good connections here. Wouldn't be surprised this horse be pretty fast from the rail. And the 4-horse Winning Edge also has excellent credentials, nice works. Phil Hall does a very good job with his young horses. I went 7, 1, and 4, but strictly a guessing racing game here. Once again, another race where you should head to the
Head to
paddock,
the paddock,
to
that's
see
right.
them on the, see how they're handling everything. But I went 7-1-4.
I went to the 3 Urban Achiever. Steve Henson is undefeated so far for the Hastings
You are the
Racing
Hastings
Club.
Racing Club. Yes,
Yes,
that's good. You got him again.
Well, he's 2
Keep
for
going.
2.
Why would you?
He's 2 for
if it
2
ain't
for the
broke,
Hastings
don't fix
Racing
it.
Club. This horse was entered earlier on in the meet. Had a scratch that day. Has some decent work since then. A nice 35-4. Had a gate work back in July 15th.
I still like the month between works. It's only, to interrupt.
Yeah.
They only the month between works. The last 2, obviously, but that was a nice work, though. I agree.
But then he come back with a 35-4, and then a 24-1. He attracts Amadeo Perez, so good connections there for Urban Achiever. I got him on top. Fleet Alice, your topic I like a lot in here. As you mentioned, that 35-1 gate work, and we saw these connections win with a horse, Steve McDonald, bought out of Keeneland, like this filly about 2 weeks ago. McDove, another very well-bred one, and a Fleet Alex out of an unbridled song mare attracts Antonio Reyes lots like about a Fleet Alice. And My Majesty, as you mentioned, the Troy Taylor horse in here, owned by Shelley Bancroft.
Big friend of the show.
Shelley Bancroft. My Majesty breaking. The only thing maybe I'm not crazy about is the rail, but I did put My Majesty in the 3rd spot. 3-7-1 for me in the 3rd. On to the 4th. Very good race. This is the first time all year, there's 2 races this weekend I had a lot of trouble with. There's 3 horses I like. I couldn't decide between the 3 of them. So I'm just going to say the 3. They could come in any order. I put It's Finally Friday on top because he has tactical speed that should be tough in here. It's a $16,000 claiming event for older boys going 6.5 furlongs. I put Go for Guinness in the 2nd spot. He's on a roll right now with wins at 12-5 and 16. He figures to be tough in here. And Devil in Disguise takes a drop down from 25 into 16. Those are the 3. I don't know which order to put them in. I went 7, 4, and 5. It could be 5, 7, 4, 4, 5, 7. I don't know. I couldn't decide really which one to like. I did end up on the 7, It's Finally Friday.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't have a lot to add. Those are the 3 horses. I agree with the 7, It's Finally Friday. Impressive win last time. No races going in the last little bit, so it's not surprising to see the horse off a little while. But that's your pace setter probably. Probably sitting on the outside of the 6 after the conflict, but he's going to get the good trip. That's what I like. It's Finally Friday. Go for Guinness, probably going to take the box seat, but he can win, and he's a nice horse.
He's won back-to-back
shortening up to
races,
6.5, but still, he won sprinting 2 starts back. And the 5, Devil in Disguise, probably not his best distance, but he still runs some good. He was second behind Brackendale a bunch of starts back. So, you're right. The 3 are very interchangeable, but I just think tactically I agree with you that the 7 might have an edge and be on the lead, and that'll give him every opportunity to win. 7-4-5 for me as well in the 4th, which is the start of the late pick 4. On to the 5th race, $4,000 fillies and mares, non-2. Ended up on the 2, Little Blossom. Good runner-up effort last time to Cadeo. Ran a nice race, kind of got bottled up on the inside last time. Really didn't have a troubled trip, but still just kind of got held up a bit. Wasn't actually checking or anything, but still was stymied a little bit. And some of them, the cheaper horses, you can't really, they can't handle too much adversity. And but still like a Little Blossom with a clean trip. Put the 6 horse Catching Fire. I don't love this horse at all. I can see the horse winning by a mile, and I can see the horse not being on the ticket. When horses don't break out of the gate, that is never a good sign. And this horse absolutely refused last time. And I don't care what price you're at. If you don't leave the gate, you're not going to win. And this horse, gets Richard Hamill. I'm sure Craig's done a bunch of work on him in the mornings at the gate, and perhaps Catching Fire will catch some fire leaving the gate. And I put the 4 horse Cute Little Vixen in for 3rd with Tanika Wolf Bell in the irons. Shortens up after being a pace casualty going long. She's better than a lot of these, so I put her in the mix as well. I know she's not going to get a lot of play because of the apprentice rider, but still I think she's good enough.
When she took the drop down to 4,000, she absolutely crushed.
And hooked into Flare Miss. Flare Miss beat her up at the quarter pole, and she just absolutely was deflated and ended up running well back. But I went 2, 6, and 4. I'm going to go Little Blossom.
I did put the 6 on top, Catching Fire. I mean, that Dwelt is scary, but I do like the move to Richard
You can't stand
Hamill.
alone with it. When you're playing the pick 4s, obviously you cannot stand alone with 6 because you could be eliminated right away. You got to play the horse. You have to respect the horse.
You could be eliminated before the race is even over.
Right. So you want to do that.
But taking the big drop was a very impressive maiden breaker for 12-5, 2 starts back. Figures, as you mentioned, if she breaks, she's going to be a handful. I put the 3 Iriki Princess in the 2nd spot. Finally took the drop down to 4,001. Then went up to 8 on a brutal, sloppy track. You could see she looked like she was just absolutely spinning her wheels. She wasn't getting a hold of the track. Now they go back down to 4,000 where she broke her maiden, and I think that makes her very much more of a factor in here. With Silviano Morales, who's doing very well.
Yes, he is. Good rider.
Very tidy, tight, polished rider here at Hastings, Silviano Morales. And I put your top pick, Little Blossom, in third spot. Definitely not one to leave out of the ticket. Just losing by a nose to Cadeo last time. Watch how Cadeo runs in the first race, and you can kind of get an idea for how Little Blossom can bounce back in here. I went 6-3-2 in the fifth. Big race, 11 horses.
We got a bunch of big fields. 11 more here.
Yeah, on to the sixth. Maiden 4,000, going 6.5 furlongs. I picked this horse last time. He was 12-1, number 8, New Jersey Joe. He came
Good pick,
flying.
too. Unlucky not to win. You were unlucky.
Jeff rode him perfect. He just kind of sat on him, let him relax, made one move. He came flying, and as you mentioned, unlucky not to lose. I'm going right back to him for this 3-year-old son of Fusiachi Pegasus, out of leading trainer Mike Anderson's barn, New Jersey Joe. And also, we will see a replay in tomorrow's shows, but congrats, Jeff Birmingham, one of the truly good guys at Hastings Park, had a big day on Monday. New Jersey Joe, I'm picking. Listo Warrior, a guy who eventually is going to break his maiden for 4,000. After he took the big drop down, one of these days he'll break his maiden for 4,000. It very well could be today. I put him in the second spot. And I went to the 5, Secretarian of the Silver Gregory barn. Another one that fits at the $4,000 level. Sylvia's going good right now. Leading rider Richard Hamill sticks with him. I put him in the third spot. 8, 9, and 5 for me.
Yeah, I think you got the right 3. I put the 5 Secretarian on top just because I think he had the worst trip of anyone last time. It was 4 wide early, chasing the pace, and it was not a particularly fast pace, but it wasn't a slow pace. And the horse kept battling
46
on.
Is decent for
he kept battling on. He just didn't have position. He was on the middle of the track. I like Richard Hamill, back aboard, better draw. Probably sits off of the 3. 2 and 3 maybe, who appear to have quite a bit of speed. I put Secretarian on top over New Jersey Joe and the 9 Listo Warrior. I went 5, 9, and 8, but I agree those are your top 3 horses. But I just think Secretarian with a little better trip might be the best of those 3. On the 7th and final race, got some $4,000 claimers going a mile on the 16th. I ended up on the 2-horse Lord Gallivic. Really not a that's the logical horse. He hasn't run a bad race in forever. He just continues to run really well for Phil Hall and Dan Lee, and that's your horse to beat. Put the 5-horse Timber Topper in for second. He finished in behind Lord Gallivic last time. Kind of got shuffled back a bit farther than he usually is positionally last time, and I just think with a better trip, he might be the one that can beat Lord Gallivic. And I put the 3 Bluegrass Man. He's the third best for me. I think it's 2-5, 5-2 for me, but I ended up 2.
And then everybody else.
I went 2-5-3.
I totally agree. I got Lord Gallivic on top over the 5 Timber Topper. I put Promised Glory in the third spot for Steve Hansen. He's a hard-trying little guy. Hasn't obviously had the year this year that he had last year, but he jumped up and ran into Bluegrass Pride and Proxy Man Tapacero last time. Even the time before that, we ran a pretty good third behind Honestly Oscar and Halo's Quest. I'm going back to him that if there's some pace in here, he's going to be closing late and look for him to come running. Under jockey Jeff Birmingham, 2, 5, and 8 for me. In the nightcap on Saturday, that'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday, what is it?
September the 12th.
Program. Up next on screen will be our picks. As always, Mike.
There we go. Back in race number 1. I got the 3. Flair Miss, 3, 1, and 6 for me. Pretty chalky opener. Once again, the chalk in the second. I like the 1-horse Goliath, 1, 3, and 6. Short price daily double, we're calling for. Race number 3. Once again, the morning line favorite. Number 7, Fleet Alex. I think it'll be the morning line favorite. 7, 1, and 4. Race number 4, I went to the 7. It's Finally Friday over the 4, Go for Guinness, and the 5, Devil in Disguise. But as Drew mentioned earlier, those 3 are interchangeable. All 3 are.
I would take all 3 in your pick 6, pick 4 tickets. Yeah.
Race number 5 went to the 2, Little Blossom, over the 6, Catching Fire, and the 4, Cute Little Vixen. The 6th race went to the 5, Secretarian. I'm going to go 5, 9, and 8. And in the 7th and final, I'm going to go to the 2, Lord Gallivic. Pretty reliable dude. 2, 5, and 3 for me in the Saturday finale. On to Drew's picks.
There we go. I agree with Mike. The first 2 races. In the first, I went with the 3, Flair Miss over the 6 and the 1. And in the second, number 1, Goliath over the 6 and the 9. In the third, I went to the 3, the People's Horse, Urban Achiever over the 7 and the 1. In the fourth, I went to the 7, It's Finally Friday over Go for Guinness and Devil in Disguise, as Mike just mentioned. Very competitive race there. In the fifth, I went to the 6, Catching Fire over the 3 and the 2. In the 6th, I went to number 8, New Jersey Joe over the 9 and the 5. And in the nightcap, I'm back with Mike. Number 2, Lord Gallivic over the 5 and the 8.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner. Hopefully you've enjoyed our 7-race analysis of the card. Hopefully get you some winners. Just a quick reminder that racing resumes on Sunday. Early post.
Big day.
12:50. We are a little earlier. 12:50 is the first post on
9 races.
Sunday. We do have 9 races.
We got 4 stakes. We got the obviously highlighted by the Derby,
Derby's
the Oaks, the SW Randall, and the what's the girls' race?
Delta Colleen or
it's a Delta Colleen. It's a mile and an eighth.
Yeah.
And then also the 2 starter races.
We have over $500,000 in purses up for grabs on the Sunday program. It's going to be a lot of fun. 9 races. And there could be a Sea to Sky Pick 6 carryover heading into it.
I
it's
hope it
33,000 going into the Saturday.
Be a big bet and a great bet on a huge
it could get to 100 grand. It'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, once again, early post on Sunday at 12:50 for the BC Derby. On behalf of Drew, thanks to everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.